Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel, Caring Connections with Faith. Thanks so much for being with me today. I am going to pre-record again today because as Kale mentioned so adeptly, no one shows up to this live stream anyway. So if I just pre-record, that way you guys can watch it when you want to and go from there, and that way my phone doesn't overheat as badly. So maybe once we have more subscribers to the channel, then I'll try the live streams again. But for now, I'm just going to make videos that I would talk about during the live stream and just go ahead and post them on the channel on Tuesdays and Fridays. That way it's less stress for me, which brings me to today. We're going to talk about stress. I had something else planned, but man, today I need you guys. I need to be heard. I need to chill. I'm at the beach. Anyway, back up. Who am I? My name is Faith. I've been through a ton of stuff in my life, you name it, pretty much. It has happened. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, health problems, losing my home, family struggles, everything. I have a unique perspective to offer in getting through hard stuff. And that's what we're going to also talk about today, because I have been asked to walk through another very difficult situation in my life right now. And to be honest with you guys, when I started this channel, life was pretty good. Life was pretty easy compared to what's going on right now. I had a partner. My daughter was living with her dad, and even though that was stressful, we were making it work, and I was able to go up and visit with her and spend time with her, and that has fallen apart, and she has since needed a safe place to live, which can't be with me because I live in a van. And so she has moved in with my son and his fiance, which I am super, super thankful for, that she has a safe place to be. And her having a safe place to be means that I am responsible to be her primary caregiver at the moment, which is, fine. I'm a mom. I gave birth to her. I signed up for this, and I'm not complaining at all. By any means. I love her with everything in me. I would gladly give my life for her if that's what it cost. And right now, living super, super far from her zoned school, and having to do a ton of extra driving and get up crazy early in the morning to be at a school that starts crazy early already. Feels like it's literally killing me. We have been at this now for 2.5 weeks. And there are days when I just don't know how on earth I'm going to handle one more second, one more minute, one more day, let alone 4 years of high school. And, still going through the grief of losing my ex, and losing my best friend Maria, and the anniversary of Frank's passing was just a couple of weeks ago. So it feels like life is extremely overwhelming, and I'm one of those kind of people that I really need it's gonna get loud here for a second. This guy, let me tell you about him real quick. See him up there? See him? He's coming in. He does this thing, and it has a big engine on the back of his seat. And so he parks his truck just down the road, and he does this. I see him quite often when I come to this beach, and he's just having a grand old time up there. He's just in a little seat with that big thing, and he just goes around and around and around, and he has so much fun. But it's crazy loud, so as he gets closer, it's gonna get louder. But yeah, it's pretty awesome to watch him when he's far away like that and not making loud noise. Anyway, so yeah, so super early mornings, like 4 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, so getting very little sleep. I'm trying to go to bed early, as early as I can get to bed, but you know, I'm just one of those kind of people that, you know, really needs a good solid 8 hours of sleep at least every night to feel normal. Here he comes. He's going to be so loud. Here he comes. See? He's going past us now. Here he goes. Having a grand old adventure this morning. Okay, so, raising a teenager is not easy in and of itself. And when you have a teenager that has been through some trauma, and that doesn't help the situation. When I was raising my son, who is now 24, we went through some hard things together too, you know, but we were together the whole time. And so it made a big difference. And so for her to have not really had me in her life consistently because of my own health has made it very difficult for her to cope and to have the skills that she needs to get through this difficult season. And so, you know, we are getting her the tools and the help. That it's just slow going, you know, it's just a process, and everybody has to basically put on their big girl panties and grit our teeth and get through it. And so that's what we're trying to do, all of us. It's a huge adjustment, you know, too, for my son and his fiance, for her to be living with them at the same time, and me being there with her more often. So they're not really having their privacy anymore. So all of that is just a big transition for all of us to figure out and cope with. And some days I just don't even know how to keep going. And so I thought that because I want this channel to be about authenticity, we just talked about being authentic on Tuesday's video, and so today I am just being super real. It is Friday, and like it feels like it's Friday to the, you know, millionth degree. That yes, we have somehow survived this week, and I don't know how on earth I can even think about surviving next week. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about is perspective. So I've been having to really do a lot of self-talk during this time because there are lots and lots of moments where I just feel so overwhelmed that I don't know even how to hold my head up and stay awake long enough to think about what the next right thing is, never mind do it. And so it feels like there are times in your life where you just keep slogging along and nothing really is easy. Yesterday was a very rough morning, and my daughter ended up not even going to school. It was so rough. And so I left and I decided I would go to Mass and try to fill up my own tank, because that's another thing we're going to talk about. And I went to Mass, and there was a mom there in Mass, and I've seen her at church before. Normally she's there with her husband and her other children, but she was there all by herself yesterday, and she had her son, who is maybe 3 or 4 years old. And normally, I think maybe the dad is more responsible for corralling that little one, because when I normally see them at church, he is loud. He does talk out during the mass, but the dad keeps him pretty well corralled by his side, and so it's a little bit of disruption, but it's not like chaos. And so yesterday, after the whole morning with my daughter, I was like feeling desperate, like I was in some sort of desert and I just needed one little drop of water in order to keep going. And so I went to mass feeling that sense of overwhelm and desperation and like just tears falling and just really needing peace in that moment, right? And so this mom is there, and she doesn't seem to have any kind of sense about what is appropriate behavior in church. And so her little guy is literally treating the pews of the church like a jungle gym, the whole service. And he's jumping over the pews. He's running up and down in between the pews. He's running all around like her section. He's talking, and she just keeps going like this to him, like this. Just puts her finger up to her lips. That's the only thing she does. She doesn't go get him. She doesn't make him sit with her. There's a cry room literally right behind her, and she keeps pointing there and threatening that she's going to take him there, but she doesn't. And so literally the mass was not even remotely peaceful. That desperation I felt for peace, by the end of mass, I was just bawling. Like tears were flowing. I could not keep it inside anymore. I just didn't even know what to do anymore. And I sat there after mass. I sat in the church and I just cried and cried and cried until at least I got it out. And so then, like I said in the live stream, in my short yesterday, then I left the mass and I went for a walk. And so these are some things that I want to talk about, because I know that I am not the only one that feels this sense of desperation. I don't think I feel hopeless by any means. I don't think I feel depressed, but I definitely feel extremely overwhelmed, extremely exhausted, and just really wondering, how am I supposed to cope with all of this that's been thrown at me at the moment? And so here are some things that I am doing personally to make life more manageable, and going to mass is definitely one of them. Everyone talks about, many people talk about that you cannot help others if you don't fill up your own cup. Same with the oxygen mask analogy. If you're on a plane and something happens, you put your own oxygen mask on first. And so I try to take that really, really to heart with this, which is why we're sitting here at the beach today. Every moment that I can get away and that I can have moments like this of peace and calm and quiet, and I can just breathe and keep life in perspective, I am taking it. And sometimes that might look to people like selfishness, but I know that the only way that I'm going to have something to offer to my daughter is if I am not on absolute empty myself. And so these moments are not just wants anymore. These moments are absolute needs, because if I can get that needle off of the E, even to 1/8 of a tank or 1/4 of a tank while she's at school, then, when those frantic texts come in from her, which she has just now sent me one, which I will not answer at the moment, where she is at school and she is freaking out and she's telling me how much she hates it, and that she's hiding in the bathroom again. You know, I need that 1/8 of a tank to be there to keep us going in those moments and have something to offer her when she's in a moment of panic and distress. So that's the first thing. Fill up your tank. Even if you can't get, like you can't get a vacation, you can't get away, maybe it's 5 minutes to do something that you love. Maybe it's 5 minutes of just going outside and sitting under a tree. Maybe it's 5 minutes of knitting, but you gotta find something that's going to fill your own tank, because it's true. You cannot offer what you do not have. I can love her with everything in me, but if I have nothing in my own tank, then I have nothing to give her. So that's that. First thing, fill up your tank. Second thing, if you can, look for people or organizations or those around you that can be helpful and supportive. And hopefully this channel can be one of those things that you turn to if you are feeling overwhelmed or desperate or exhaustion. That is the whole point of this channel, is to have a safe place that you can come and you can know that there is someone willing to walk with you in these moments that you are going through. And if you're really in a really great place, that is totally awesome to be able to say to someone else, man, I have walked in hard times and right now life is so good, and you can offer that hope to other people. That is amazing too. And that's why I don't want to just build me talking here. That's why I want to build a community where we have so many subscribers that when someone sends out an SOS in the community tab, that there are people there for them. And eventually I would like to get us back to the Discord group or some other forum where people can talk to each other, a Facebook group or something where we can communicate. If you need to reach out, then you can reach out. So for now, if you need to reach out, my email is always available, and I am happy to answer any emails, and that is caringconnectionswithfaith@gmail.com. And that is always available, and that'll come right to my phone, and I'm happy to be supportive however I can. And so you never know, sometimes support might come from really strange places. Today at Mass, I've been noticing, because I go to 2 or 3 different Masses depending on what I'm doing in the day. And so this church that I'm going to is a new one for me. It's not my normal church. And so I've noticed this gentleman, and he's an older gentleman, but he makes a point to tell people to have a good day, and he asks them how they are, and he really genuinely seems to care about people. And he speaks to me every time I'm there. And you know what? I'm sure that he doesn't even know how much that means to me. But it does. It means a ton. So you never know where you might find some support. If you reach out or you try something new or you go to a new place, you just never know. So keep that in mind too, that sometimes support can come in unlikely places. So try not to self-isolate. Try to still get out there. I was going to do a whole different video today about where are all the good guys gone, and that's probably still coming, but I just felt like I didn't really want to do a stream where I was griping so much, as I really want to, even in my own dark times and hard times, I want to still be able to be available and be offering help and hope to people. So we are going to do that stream at some point, maybe next week. But for now, we're going to just talk about right where I'm at today, and hopefully that is helpful to you all. Let's see where the sandhill cranes have gone today. They were here. I heard them crying earlier, but they seem to have gone now. I'm not even sure. Hopefully it's not too dark because I can't really see the phone very good because it's so bright out here. Anyway, hopefully it's not too dark. Hopefully you can see the beach okay. And anyway, so yeah, so fill your tank where you can, try to get some support where you can, and sometimes you just have to rest. You have to call a halt, and that's what I did yesterday. After Mass, I came home back to the apartment, and I don't sleep during the day. I don't sleep during the day because I find it messes up everything. But yesterday I just had to call a halt because I just couldn't go on. I felt so sick. You know, when you're so exhausted that you feel literally ill. And I just could not go any further. And so I just called a halt and I said, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to try to take a nap. And I fell dead asleep, so far asleep that my son came home for lunch and he cooked and he did all this stuff and I did not hear a thing. I was so dead to the world. But when I woke up feeling a little bit better and that like life was a little bit more manageable, that I could carry on, and the rest of the day was better. And so today I made sure that I went to bed as early as I could last night, around 8:30 I think, and got back up again at 4 this morning. But today doesn't seem quite as overwhelming as yesterday, thankfully. And I've been able to come up here and get to the beach and hang out. So that's basically what I wanted to share, that, you know, life is not going to always be easy peasy. And, you know, we don't always get rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes we get big storms that we have to walk through. And for me personally, one of the major things I've mentioned to you before about filling my cup is my faith in God. And so for me, going to Mass every day and having that time where I just make a point and purpose to stop and focus on God and really let that fill my cup too, is so important. And during the day, you know, like I do Bible reading and I have worship music playing, all of that to make sure that I am staying as close to God as I can, because I believe that He is the best way to get through hard times. He is and will be a shelter in the storm that you're going through. That is my personal belief. I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm just telling you this is what I believe, and this is what works for me. If I have a really hard time, and knowing that I can always go to God with my desperation, and that He hears me and that He loves me, that is huge for me. And so something to consider. And also really plugging into, back in July, I made a point and a purpose to really start reading my Bible and studying it. And so doing that too has been a super help. And I really believe that that came to my mind to start doing that because of this hard season that was coming. So that is a way that I can keep that water flowing in the desert time when I'm really going through a struggle. So that's what was on my heart and my mind today. My daughter has now texted me a bunch of times during this video, but I wanted to get this recorded so I can get it uploaded before 11. And so that's me for today. I don't know what you guys are up to. I would love it if you would share maybe something that's worked for you to get through hard times, or share a struggle that you're going through so that other people don't feel quite so alone. That's the whole point here. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I'm sending you lots and lots of love as always, and I will check back in with you briefly tomorrow, and we'll do another video on Tuesday. Until then, take good care of you and those around you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.